will happen if your pet didn't complete the mandatory 180 days of quarantine before arriving to Japan. These are very, very important things to know. The first possible option is to have your pet complete their required days of quarantine at a detention facility in Japan after arrival. The second option, you may be required to send your pet back to the country it's coming from, and this at your own expenses, of course. If option 1 or 2 are not possible for you, or your pet didn't complete all the required vaccines and tests before arrival, there's a problem with your paperwork, your pet may be put down by Japanese authorities, probably at your own expenses as well. So this is a very serious consequence. Japan is a very friendly country in general, but it is a country that does not tolerate exceptions. Forget trying to negotiate your way out if your pet didn't complete all the requirements, including the full 180 days of quarantine before coming to Japan. These are the 3 options you will likely have. Now, if you choose to send your pet to a detention facility upon arrival, here's what you need to know. As a general rule, and this is for all dogs, they are allowed to enter Japan through only selected ports of entry. Not all of the airports will accept dogs coming in, whether or not they go to detention. It's just a general rule. But I would expect the airline to know about this. To be sure, check the list of the acceptable port of entry for dogs in the online list of resource I showed you before under section 5.1. Second important point is that even if an airport or seaport can allow a dog in, not all of them have a detention facility nearby. That means if your pet is denied entry because it didn't complete the 180 days of quarantine, the only options available at this point, if there's no detention facility nearby, would be option 2 or 3 above. Also, not all detention facilities include a caretaker to feed and care for your cat or dog while they are at the facility. This means that you will need to arrange to go yourself or have someone to go there every day to feed your pet and take care of their needs. If a caretaker company is available, I think there's just, of all the detention facility I check, I think like only 2 or 4 of them have a caretaker company across Japan, so it's not many. If a caretaker company is available, the service is not free. You will need to reserve and pay for this service. Finally, and maybe the most important point, you should reserve a spot at the detention facility in advance as well, because spaces available are limited. If you already know that your pet won't have completed all the days required for quarantine, you can plan and reserve a spot for your pet for the extra days required to complete the quarantine period. There may be additional fees like transport fees and handling fees to the detention facility as well. Just make sure you ask when you reserve about this, and make sure you also notify the animal quarantine section at your airport of arrival in advance that you will need to have your pet complete the quarantine at this facility. Once your pet has completed the remaining days of quarantine, they will need to go through the final import inspection we talked about earlier at the closest animal quarantine section, which is not in the same building as the detention facility, by the way. So they will again need to be transported.